Alrighty, welcome back to another, I guess is a tutorial. It's going to be more of a me doing what I do, recording it and showing it to you, but at the end of the video, after I get it all done, I'm going to stop the video, stop recording, hand it to my wife for a test run, and then show you the results of that test run, and then also show you whatever I need to fix. I'm going to show it to you at the end of the video. So this is more me doing what I usually do, but I don't usually show you my little fixes that need to be done at the end. So maybe this will help if your pieces aren't coming out exactly correct and you got to make little corrections, and hopefully this will help you be able to make those corrections. This is we just got this today. It's a little bit of a hurry up. We've got 3 days to get this digitized, tested, and embroidered. I think on three or four polo shirts. It's going to be a pocket. I do a lot of those. Something that I figured out, that if you're doing requests for customers, the most requests that we get are pockets and backpacks. That's the most we get. And I don't think I've done a tutorial on digitizing a backpack piece yet. I'm going to have to do that one of these days. So maybe if you have an interest in that, let me know. But so we're doing this as a pocket. The original piece is this. I have my document properties size set to a 3.5 inch by a 3.5 inch. So I'm making sure that the design stays inside of that 3.5 inch. I guess the 3.5 inch height doesn't matter on this piece. So I'm going to do what I usually do and take some measurements, see what we're working with. I'm going to hit that little ruler tool there and see how wide some of these are. That's 1.7 mil. That's pretty good. Thinnest part of the O here is 1. Thinnest part of that Y, I missed. Thinnest part of the Y is a little over 1, so that's good. Let's see what our little line here is 1. Okay, so our sizes are pretty good. I'm still gonna digitize the lettering like it was small lettering, mostly just to make the machine happy. And I'm not going to include, you see on the ends, it's got the little flare. I'm not going to include that flare. We'll run a test piece, and if the customer notices, I'll give it a little flare, but the machine doesn't necessarily like that. So I'm going to plan on leaving that off. We'll go ahead and do I need to go to the fill and stroke. And just so you know, this is my first recording of doing a piece on Inkscape 1.2, except for the little overview thing that I did on the last video. This is my first recorded digitization piece done on Inkstitch 1.2. The only thing that's really changed is layers and objects are now one thing, so that helps. Other than that, pretty much everything else is going to be the same. Okay, so under fill and stroke, I want to select that piece, turn the opacity down. I am in fill and stroke. I don't think you can do that from the, you used to be able to do that under objects, select the image, turn that opacity down. I don't see a way to do that now, so now it's under fill and stroke, fill, opacity, turn it down. Okay, now we can get started. And I'm also not going to do the shadow effect on any of this. All right. we'll go right in and start tracing out. Some of this I'll probably speed up. You've seen me do this a lot of times before. Get that flare going around and select the node tool. Control A to select all the nodes and make them smooth. And that one there's a little off. And that one there's a little off. Doesn't matter a whole lot, really and truly, because you're dealing with stitches instead of straight lines, so it doesn't matter too awful much. And then we'll make another one come around. And if this ends up being, I didn't measure this out. I should have measured this out to see how wide it was. If it ends up being too wide, then I'll cut the middle and make 2. But only if I don't think it's going to end up that wide. That's not too bad. Start getting too wide of a satin stitch, you're looking at somewhere around a 6. About as wide as you want to go, maybe 7 if your piece needs that. But that's about it. We'll make a few cross members. And we'll go into our new objects, layers, objects, objects layer. I don't know what to call that now. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we'll combine. And now we can turn that into what am I doing? Params and then satin stitch. Okay. I got to close that out so I can get to that. I think that's a Linux thing with Wayland, so it's not something you should have to worry about. I'm going to turn that zigzag to a, what are we putting this on? We're putting this on a cotton shirt. I'm going to change that to a 0.35, and then I'm going to put full comp at 0.1. We're going to give that it's pretty fat in the middle, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a zigzag. That looks pretty good. Close. Now, can I duplicate that and flip it over and put it on that other one? Looks pretty close, doesn't it? There's one way to find out. Let's see. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to spin it like this and drag it over and see if it goes nicely into place. And I believe it does. Look at there. Look at there. Not bad. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Okay. Oh, that one's done now. But I do need to change the color. So I'm going to grab this pick colors from image, a little color dropper. Push the shift button. It's reading the color underneath, which is the original image. So it's reading that color. And I'm just going to change that color to that. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to do it on that edge so that makes sure, and I did it off of this satin stitch we made, that makes real sure that these two items are the same color. And since I want that line to be the same color, I'm going to go ahead and do that line. And we're just going to let Inkstitch do that for us. I'm going to hit Control so it's straight. Okay, now fill and stroke. I know 2's too wide. I don't know why I did that. 1.5, that might be too wide. But since I'm not doing the shadow, I can get away with it being a little bit thicker. And I think I'm going to go with that. So we'll turn that into a satin, convert line to satin. All right. So far, so good. We've made pretty good progress pretty quickly. So I do want to, I'm going to treat the lettering like a small lettering. Even though it's not terribly small, I'm still going to treat it that way. And do as few die-offs as possible. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this J. I could do that one as a straight line, I think. I don't think I'm going to. And again, I'm not doing the shadow. Put that one across far enough. Yeah, okay. Go back into my objects. That should be that, okay. And combine, path combine. And extensions, Inkstitch params. Get you a little quicker. Custom satin column. Considering the size on the lettering, I believe I'm going to leave it at 0.4 and allow lock stitches on both ends because this is just one end to the other. Okay, let's move along. Now I need the A. I want this part done first. Didn't do my control button straight line shift, did I? No, I did not. Combine, Inkstitch params. Get me quicker. Maybe next time. Satin Stitch. Now I'm going to change this one so that I allow lock stitches before, but not after. And now we're going to come out of there. We're going to run a straight stitch down. Oh, that's nice. So we'll switch that to a little run stitch. And now we're going to run up. And up. Okay, go back to that. Fine, path, fine. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Get out of the way. Like I said, that is just a doing neither. That's just a Linux Wayland thing. Apply and quit. Oh, you know what? I need to do that on that piece too. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Neither. Apply and quit. Okay. On that one, I need to check that one for where I need the last stitch to be on top. So params. It is on top. Good deal. Quit, cancel, and make our next stitch. Down to there. And down to there. That one, path, fine, extensions, Inkstitch, rams, satin column, after. Apply and quit. I need to grab all of the A, and we're going to group. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just visualize that A by itself. Yeah, that's not too bad. We'll just have to wait and see what the test out looks like. And on with the Y. Okay. Which way do I want to do this? It's down to there. And then to there. Grab those two. Path combine. Control K. Inkstitch params. Before. Extensions. Nope. Path combine. Now extensions. Inkstitch params. After. Apply and quit. We're going to grab those two and we're going to group it. Okay, so that one ended on the left side. I want to end on the right side so that I can pick up right here instead of trying to go from that side to this next column. But that's just as easy as Satin Tools, flip satin column rails. Now it'll show up. Now it will end that column on the right hand side. Outstanding. That's exactly what we need it to do. Need to see that again because I want it to end on that top one. I want it to start on that top one. Actually, more important, I need it to end on the bottom. Okay. So I need to flip it. In either case, I need to flip it. So yeah, extensions, Inkstitch, Satin Tools, flip satin column rail. Now it should start on the top and it should end on the bottom. Starts on the top, ends on the bottom. Outstanding. And I want it to start on the other side. So, Satin Tools, flip satin column rail. Select all three of these, group. I am going to look at that one. Simulator preview. Again, we'll just have to wait and see what it looks like from the testing. So the E, I hate E's. Just for the record, I really dislike doing E's because there's so many. Yeah. Just for the record. Okay, I had to think about that one for a minute. There's not a great way to do an E, but this is how I'm going to do this particular E. I'm going to start here. I am pressing and holding Control to make sure I get a straight line. Control K. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Satin column, custom satin, before. Now we are going to run a running stitch up through to here. Go into fill and stroke, make it a dotted line so that it's a straight stitch or running stitch. I think it's called a running stitch, isn't it? I kind of tend to call it both of those. Yeah. Okay. Params, go into params, and we're going to lock stitch neither. Make another one of those and another one of those. Grab those last two. Control K. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Satin column, neither. Line quit. We need another runner to go from there to there. Go into fill and stroke, dotted line. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Neither. Line quit. Make another one of these. Going to about there. To about there. Interesting. I just noticed that. Maybe I need to run that out a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Just a little bit. Okay. Grab those last two. Control K. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Satin column. Satin column, thank you. And then neither. Line quit. And now for the Coupe de Gracie. The last one coming down. And coming down. Oh, I'm missing that one pretty badly. Scoot it over a little bit. Just so happens that I can push Control K and actually get the right angle. I think that was accidental. completely and totally accidental. I need to move that up. I think our sizes are going to be kind of all over the place because the image that I got's not real good as far as telling what part is shadow and what part is color when it's that opaque, when the opacity is set to that level and it's blown up really big and pixelated. So some of this I'm just shooting from the hip, honestly. Okay, last two that I did, Control K, Extensions, Inkstitch params, satin column, and after. Apply and quit. Now let's grab all of that E and group it. Leaves us with the S. I thought about doing the single line, make it, and then I changed my mind. That'll be interesting. Let's fix that one right there. That'll work. Give us a few rails. Nope. Rungs. My bad. And we will piece those together. Control K. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Satin column. Apply and quit. I don't like the way that jumped around right here, so I'm going to ease that progression up a little bit. Okay, that should be fine. Okay. I think that'll be better. All right. So that's got our Jaynes part. I'm going to do the flooring. I'm going to go ahead and select. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Goes through there. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like in a preview. Oh yeah, I didn't do any trim stitches yet. That looks okay there. I need to drop this down. Or that. I need to grab that. And drag it down. Down. And we'll go with that. we have a completed piece. Oh, no, we don't. You know what? Yep, I'm saving that last, and I forgot about it, but I'm saving it for last anyway because I want to duplicate the J, which is that one. Duplicate that J. Move that into place. Oh, I don't have colors on those yet either. Goodness gracious. Okay, that's fine. And then duplicate the F. And then that can just go right into place. Outstanding. Outstanding, outstanding. Hold on. How far can I go? Oh. There is all the letters. That is awesome. I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool. I'm going to hit Shift to make sure that I'm doing the outline. Outstanding. So let's turn that image off, the visual on that image off. The last piece of each group, not the group. We have to do it this way. Some of those groups were not open, so make sure all of your groups are dropped to see all of it. So that should get everything. Now we have one trim associated to each major object. Let's check it out in a simulator. Speed this up. Got two different color of reds going on. That's not right. Other than that, it looks pretty okay. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. It's pretty close to what they gave us. I need to fix the color. What's first? That. And then that. And then that. They were all three different colors. I'm going to go ahead and select all three of them. Do a colored eyedropper. Hit Shift and make sure they're the same color. And I'm even. Pretty close. Go ahead and fire that image up. It's more of a red, isn't it? It might be more of a red. So just select the image, go back to fill and stroke, and I'm going to turn the opacity up. And then go back to that, and that. And grab the eyedropper and then hit Shift. It didn't give me Shift. Those three and the eyedropper. Now it's giving me Shift. Okay. Okay. Even that blue looks different, doesn't it? Still got the eyedropper. Yep, thank you. I don't know what it is, but sometimes it will not let me do the shift click. I don't know what it is. Okay. Hide the image. Let's see what we have. That's much better. That's better. Okay, I'm going to do one more visualize, and then I'm going to stop the recording. Whenever she does the test, she's not going to do the test run until tomorrow. I'm just going to stop the recording. Now it's stitching. It's showing me what I asked for. Computers don't make mistakes. They do exactly what you tell it to do. As a computer guy, I approve this message. Anyway, she's not going to do the test sample until tomorrow. So tomorrow we will look at the results. That's much better. We'll look at the results of the test run, and I'm sure there's going to be corrections that I need to make. There almost always are some small corrections that need to be made. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you how I make my small corrections. Yeah. Okay. Be right back. In terms of video, I'll be right back. Okay. So this is what we ended up with. Really, actually, really nice for a first run. A couple of things I'm noticing real quick. I know I did the terrible, terrible color on the stitching color, and I did that. Sweetie's not feeling good today, so I did the test run. Stitched out really good. I have a 10 needle machine with 10 different colors that I could have chosen, and I chose the worst one I could have chose. So that's on me. However, I hope you can see it good enough. You should be able to see it good enough to see that mostly looks good. I need to pull the top of that column down. Pull the, let's see, shrink the bottom of the N up a little bit. Otherwise, Jaynes is really good. J is really good. Top of the F needs to come down a little. Bottom of the L, O needs to go down a little on the bottom. This piece of the R needs to go up. Other than that, it looks really good. Now, the best part about it, doing this test run myself, is I stood there and watched the machine, which most of the time I don't do, just to be honest, especially with the 10 needle, and you can pick your two colors and walk away and come back and it's done. That's the best part. However, and the fact that I have this really quick magnetic hoop. Love it. Be very careful where you set the magnet, because it's a very strong magnet and computer stuff will die. So, having said that, and I've got a room full of computer stuff. Anyway, so I actually watched the machine run, and the way that I did the lettering with the lock stitches before, no lock stitches in between, and then lock stitch after was beautiful. The machine loved it. It stitched out every single letter super duper quick, even the E with all those little, it's got 4 different columns on it. It's got 2 run stitches in it. So even with all that, it stitched that E out super duper quick. I loved it. I'm going to do a whole video on doing satin stitches and satin stitch fonts with that idea in mind, with the specifically setting up the lock stitches. I'll probably even name it lock stitches. So, having said that, I'm going to make these corrections. I'm going to scoot this over so I can see it over here. And then I need to open up that file. And this is one reason I say always, please, always save your workpiece as an SVG first. Because once you turn it into that DST, you can't edit it very easily. But I can load up the SVG, and right there's everything I did. All nice and handy and easy. Okay, one thing I'm going to do, I need to get rid of those. I need to hide those. I need to hide those trims. And I'm pressing and holding the control button so that I can multi-select those trim commands. And then I'm just going to hide them. Oh, I can't multi-hide anymore? Hide, unhide, and hide. hide. Okay. Ooh, I don't think I like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I gotta rehide that. Okay. It didn't hide all of them. Where is that? That one. Hide. Now, one thing I don't know, if it's hidden, I'm assuming if it's hidden, then it won't stitch, right? Does that mean it won't trim? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. So we'll have to go back and make them all visible, which is actually really easy. Yeah, it's super duper easy. Okay. So that's actually all I need, I think. So I had the E, and to select just that column, press the control button and select the column, and then we'll zoom in. I'm going to take my nodes tool, select both of those nodes, and just drag them down just a little bit. Just as simple as that. Where I think I said something else. Oh, I know what I said. This one. So all four of these, this whole thing needs to go down just a little bit. Just a little. It's about like that. So that's all I needed to do in Jaynes. And then flooring, I needed to do the same thing with this F. And we'll just pull that down a little bit. And then the bottom of the L, same thing. This is just me not manually doing enough to take care of that push-pull effect, push-pull compensation. And honestly, I'm still learning that. I will not lie. So for this one, I'm actually going to drag this down like this, because it's going to be hard to just select a few of those. And the O's will always be smaller than they look on screen. So remember that too. Drag that up. And then everything else, I think, looked pretty good. The eye was a little bit tall, so let's go ahead and shrink that eye down a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I need to do the F in here. I need to do this one the same thing. And that's it. So, as quick as that was, I'm going to go ahead and run this as another test, and then with a different thread color. I know. So, different thread color, different and I'm sure there's a quick way to do this. Somebody's listening and knows a quick way to do this. Please let me know. I would appreciate that. Okay, that should be all of it. Every letter has a trim now. It certainly does. Alrighty. Now we're going to save. Save, and remember, save it as a SVG. Cannot stress that enough. Now, do the save as. Change that extension to whatever you need, in my case, DST. Replace the one that was already there. And thumb drive. Plug in the thumb drive. Remember, I am on Linux. Yours is going to look different. Flooring DST. Just gonna drag that right down here. Do a copy here. Overwrite. Do an eject. Safely remove. And I'll be back. Alrighty. SP Stick 2, much better color. You can see a lot more of what's going on. Looks pretty good. End needs to come up a little bit on the bottom. My E still's got the little thing on top. Everything else looks pretty good. The A right there, I had a thread break, rethreaded it, and that bar there is the first thing to stitch. It didn't catch right away, but then it caught going up, so I just left it. It's a test piece. I just left it. So other than that, I think it looks fine. I'm gonna fix the N and fix that E, and then I'm gonna call that a finished piece. And I'm gonna do sometime soon. I'm gonna do a advanced lettering tutorial with the lock stitches being the focus of that. I'm gonna do something like that. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do here, please like and subscribe. Make an old trucker happy. Till next time, thanks for watching.